Hi, my name is Neil. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me. Today's video is going to be about my skateboarding travels to Brazil. All right, next up is Pedro Barros's bowl. And as I mentioned earlier, it's huge, it's massive. And not only is it massive, the surface is really battered. It's been there for years. This was like one of the original bowls that the RTMF guys built. And it is DIY. It was hand done kind of DIY style. And the surface is quite battered because of that. And it's been patched up over and over again. You can see the surface looks really patchy. When you ride it, it feels like DIY surface. And so to ride it, you have to go really fast, but it's kind of scary because it's a bit kind of janky and rough. But the people that ride it regularly absolutely destroy the place. If you've seen Pedro Barros skating that before, you'll see he is insanely good. And it's all, as I said before, it's all down to these bowls and the guys that they have no fear and they blast around these bowls that are pretty hard to skate as if it's nothing. So it's a great training ground. It's a massive bowl. I can't do anything but carve around it. I just about plucked up the courage to drop in the deep end. And I think it's probably about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 foot of vert in the deep end. But again, all the transition is in the bottom. So you really fall down the wall and then it's a whoosh at the bottom. It's just kind of something that I can't spend enough time there to get used to. And so I'm not great at skating it, but it's a lot of fun. And yeah, let's check that footage out. It was a beautiful evening and into the sunset. But yeah, let's take a look at that.
Let's go, man! Yeah! Yeah!
hopefully you see what I mean about that bowl. It is insane. And the camera never really gets across how crazy it is. If you look back at my old videos, I did have a video of my 360 camera. I was in the bottom of the bowl with the 360 camera trying to film it to sort of show how high it is. So I'll leave a link below if you want to sort of check that out as well. But yeah, I've got a lot to learn to skate that bowl. I could just about backside slash the deep end, and that's about it. So yeah, I plucked up the courage eventually to drop in there, and that's as far as it really got. But it's great to go there and skate. I've just realised I totally forgot to tell the story of probably what was the most bizarre or surreal event that happened while I was there. While I was there in April, I was skating at Pedro Barros's bowl, and the bowl is at the top of a very steep hill. Actually, the whole piece of land is kind of in the jungle, so it's pretty semi-remote, but it's high trees all around. And where the bowl is built is at the top of a very steep hill. Now, if you're standing on the platform of the bowl and you look over the edge, kind of where the railings are, look over the edge, sort of down the hill, there's another small piece of land that was being developed. There was diggers there and building materials and stuff. And I knew at the time that he was planning on building a new bowl, which was, great news to me. It had only just been started, and I've got some pictures here of the beginnings of the works, but, it wasn't going to be finished while I was still there. Luckily enough, when I went back in December, it was finished and skatable. It was brand new. And so I went there a couple of times. I didn't actually get footage of me skating. I just didn't feel like filming at the time. Sometimes I don't feel like getting my camera out. So I've got some footage of the actual bowl, just sort of looking around it. I went there a couple of times while I was there last month. And the first time was great. It was pretty quiet and I sort of getting to grips with it. It is, again, like the bigger bowl, it is absolutely huge. It's a park style bowl, so it's very big and spacious. It's a bit like the one at Abrao that I showed you first, but it's a lot higher, steeper. As you can imagine, Pedro Barros is building a bowl to his specifications. It's going to be massive and gnarly, and it certainly is that. So it looks very big and spacious. As ever, the camera doesn't really tell you the whole story. Most of the walls have got a lot of vert on them. The steepest walls, probably about a foot, maybe a foot and a half of vert on them. And the other lower walls are steep, not quite vert, but steep. And so it's a real challenge to skate. And I found it a real challenge to get enough speed to get anywhere near the coping on a lot of it. So you've got to go crazy fast just to make it across the flat bottom because it's so big and spacious. And that's how park bowls are now. And, it's this whole new discipline sort of with competition skating and Olympics and things like that. The park style bowls are kind of like a totally new terrain. It's hard work to skate those bowls. You can't just cruise around kind of pedestrian style. So anyway, he built this bowl. It's fantastic. I skated it a couple of times. The second time that I was there, this is the weird story. I'd been there about an hour and there was me and I think another couple of younger kids that were skating there, sort of teenage. Then a couple of guys showed up that I recognized. It was V. Caquinho, who is Leo Caquinho's son. He started ripping and it was great to see. And, I sort of skating in between his runs. And then his Leo Caquinho showed up. And then Pedro Barros showed up. And then Keegan Palmer showed up. And Luigi Cini, Murillo Perez, basically the pros had arrived. It was insane that I was standing there on the platform skating a little bit and there's all these like international pros. Keegan Palmer won the Olympic gold twice and they're all there and I'm amongst them and I'm thinking, what am I doing here? Once they'd arrived, I think I just took 2 more runs, totally messed them up. But the rest of the time, I just thought, let's stand back and just watch the magic happen. And it was insane. It was like watching a pro competition. They were going really hard. They were hyping each other up. Quite embarrassingly at one point, where this new bowl is still on the side of the hill, and it's very steep. There aren't many railings around the bowl or anything sort of on the platform, and my board rolled off the platform and down into the abyss. It's kind of like fairly thick, like knee-deep undergrowth. And I'm thinking snakes, spiders, all kinds of things, because it's in the jungle. So that was massively embarrassing that it dropped off there. And Pedro Barros said, "Don't worry, man, I'll help you get it." And so he was there holding on to his board, which I grabbed onto to climb down and grab my board and get back up again, which, is massively embarrassing. But it just shows you what a cool guy he is, that he stopped what he was doing to help me out, and there was no kind of like, this is our session, you gotta leave, or any of that. He was totally cool and just happy to be skating and happy for us mere mortals to be amongst them. So he is the nicest guy. I've met him before, and he's always such a nice guy. And it kind of goes to show skateboarders in Brazil, they treat you as one of them, and it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. There's still the occasional, attitudes and egos. I think you get that everywhere, but usually the best skaters, or the most seasoned, are very friendly. It's usually the young ones with some attitude that aren't quite so friendly. But it's a great place and great people. And I just kind of had to pinch myself that I was standing there amongst these guys. So I didn't film anything. It felt, well, it would have been completely wrong to get my phone out and start filming all their skating. It's kind of like a chilled session, and people, just want to enjoy themselves. He's also got some signs up there sort of saying, "Don't film here," because I think there's an issue with a lot of people going there as a bit of a tourist spot at the moment. And so, I kept my camera in my bag. There was a professional filmer there filming those guys. There's some clips that they posted on Instagram. I can actually see myself there in the background. I'll show you that. One of Luigi Cini's runs.
Hey.
All right, there you go. And essentially, I always have a lot of fun when I skate there. When I'm going to go there, I think about all the things I want to do, all the things I want to skate. But I always forget until I arrive there how difficult it is to skate there. At home here in London, I skate like 3.5, 4 hour sessions, and it's pretty cold, and I can just go for that sort of amount of time. In Brazil, the temperatures, the coolest it is when I'm there is about 25 degrees, but it's humid. It's super humid. The air is thick. I find it so difficult to breathe, especially like, sessions where you're going for it with the skating. I sweat so much. My clothes are completely dripping wet. And I wear all the pads as well, which kind of doesn't help. So I sweat so much. I dehydrate. I drink so much water, but I can't go for long, and I can't skate as hard as I really want to because it's just so hot, and I just never get used to it. So I feel like I skate terribly when I'm there because the heat is just, it's so hard to deal with for me coming from London where it's usually cold. But that said, I do love that temperature, and I love to spend time there. The sun, the warm weather, it's great for your kind of mind, body, and soul. And I love to spend time on the beach. So I've got some pictures here and some video clips of the beaches as well, just to give you an idea of it. The time that we were there recently, Christmas time, it's summertime there, and that is the holiday season, kind of peak holiday season. So it was super busy, but you have to choose the spots you go to because sometimes it's just so busy that it's crazy. There you go. That's pretty much all of it. And there's clips on my Instagram as well, but I've thrown most of what I've got into this video. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of what I've been up to while in Brazil. Both times that I went, was for a month. So the April time was the whole of April that we went. And now we've just gone from mid-December 24 to mid-January 25. So a month is long enough to kind of acclimatize, and it's any less, and it's probably too short for the distance that it is to travel. But yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea of what I get up to when I'm there. There's only one last thing to say, and that is I've just done some more t-shirts. So if you didn't know, I've kind of set up a store on my YouTube channel for doing some t-shirts. I have these like silly ideas for t-shirts every now and again, and I just thought I would put those ideas into action in case anybody's interested. So thanks for anyone that's bought t-shirts, mugs, anything so far. There's another drop on a new design, which is this one here. It's kind of a twist on the old school skateboarding is not a crime sticker. If you are as old as me, you'll remember that sticker was kind of iconic, and it was a white sticker with a black text that said skateboarding is not a crime. I thought I'd do a little remix on it and say not skateboarding is a crime, and just a bit of fun. If you want one, there's t-shirts, hoodies, mugs in the store. Links are below. And thank you to anybody that buys one, because it just kind of helps perpetuate this channel. I'm not even trying to make money out of this. It's just kind of a thing for the channel. So yeah, let me know what you think. I've got some more designs in my head that I need to put down, but I just thought a bit of fun. And everybody loves a skate t-shirt. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will be back very soon. Happy New Year to everybody, because I haven't seen anyone since. And thanks for watching. I will see you again soon.